Hey folks, today we're in Arkansas. We're at a Harvest Host. It's called Twisted Lanes Candles. And today Leslie is going to take a little class on how to make candles. And the host, Tabitha, was kind enough to let us do the recording. So we'll see what we come up with. And she's going to make one candle and one item called a smelly jelly. It's kind of like beads. It's more of a deodorizer and air freshener type product. Looks pretty interesting. So we're going to go inside and we're going to check it out, see how it works. So here we are, Twisted Lanes Candles. And we have a huge array of flavors and scents. Scotch. We have, what do we got here? Oatmeal stout. Ooh, that sounds good. And we have some pipe tobacco and coffee. Oh, that sounds amazing. What else do we have? Pipe tobacco and vanilla. Ooh. And this one's my favorite. I love this one. Orange chili pepper. That smells good. You try this? Smell that one?
Which one is that?
Orange chili pepper?
Yeah, I like that too.
That smells good.
Yeah. I know. Should I get this one instead of the tomato from us?
That's tempting.
I know.
Is the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pipette, drop it down in here, and you're gonna squeeze, and you're gonna try to get as much fragrance oil in here as possible, and you're gonna do that twice, and then you're gonna put it into your.
And what's in here?
It is a silica bead.
And what?
A silica bead, kind of like what's in diapers,
Silica. Huh.
and it won't hurt your kitty cats. My cat actually plays in the ones in the house.
So is that the scent?
Yes, sir. That's a big old bottle of scent.
Wow.
Is this?
That perfect. And then you're gonna stick it in there.
And do it again?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you put the scent in the silica, what does it do?
It the scent binds to the silica, and it binds to the silica, and then after you mix it, and we put water on the top of it, it's gonna expand.
Oh.
So.
Hi.
So you're gonna mix that up with your pipette, your little your
This thing.
plastic piece.
Oh, mix it. What did you call this?
A pipe.
pipette.
What have we missed so far?
Pipette.
Nothing.
Really?
Just started.
Whenever y'all get ready to come in, y'all absolutely can.
Okay.
Whenever y'all are ready
Okay,
to.
so we gotta put a few things.
That's fine. Y'all are good.
What are we making?
She's making orange and blue spruce, and y'all get to make whatever you want to make.
What kind?
Y'all are just gonna make the container.
Jar.
Yes, sir.
The jar one. Okay.
All
Put it in
right.
the water.
So I use distilled water because mold doesn't like distilled water. And then you're gonna use your pipette and stir it back up. When it gets kind of gel-like is when you quit stirring.
So do you have to recharge that after it's been out for a while?
You
or
can. So
how do you do that?
after it starts to get about halfway, it'll start to dry out, and you can add a little bit more water to it.
Distilled water.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then it'll last you another month or so.
Oh wow.
Eventually, the scent will completely fade.
So after the scent is done, can we add a different scent to it?
No, because your beads will dissolve completely as
Okay.
well. And
Okay.
when it's completely dissolved, the only thing that's going to be left in the bottom is going to be a couple of little beads. You can wash it and reuse it for something different.
Oh.
So as we go along, these are going to expand.
Yeah.
And they're going to expand and look like the ones that are on the shelf.
So this is starting to gel.
Yep. So you're perfect. So you
That's
can
good.
stop. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And
Just
then-
like that. Huh.
Just like that. And then put your lid on.
That's it?
And that's all for that piece.
Oh my gosh.
And then just give it a good shake. Okay. And that piece is done. So while we're making your candle, that will sit there and expand and all that.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to put the wicks in your jar for you. And
And what are the wicks? Are they bamboo?
they are a laminated cherry wood. It's two
Cherry.
pieces of cherry wood that have been laminated together.
Oh, okay.
So how hot is the wax when it comes out of your?
180. 183 right now.
183.
185 is the temp that I prefer to keep it at. Wax will burn, and every wax has its own melt point and its own burn point. So I prefer to keep mine at 183 because that's a sweet spot for this particular wax.
So what do you call these things?
These are actually brew. They're called brewzillas. They're actually made for making beer and stuff. So people who make beer and stuff, cider and stuff. But I found mine on sale, and I thought I'm gonna try it and see if it worked, and it worked, and so I bought my second one.
That's perfect.
Very cool.
All right. Well, these are drying. All right.
Wow, this is
Fancy.
a fancy
How
setup.
Uh-huh.
long have you been doing this?
7 years. Okay. So you're gonna put your. Hello.
How are you?
Smells fruity.
All right, so you're gonna put your wax pot on here, and we're gonna tear it out and make sure that it's all measured out to 0, because ultimately what we're gonna do is you're gonna put 7 ounces of wax in this container, and then we're gonna put 1.5 ounces of fragrance oil in the container, and you're gonna mix it up and pour in your candles. But ratio wise, we need 7 ounces of wax and 1.5 ounces. But every time we do something different, we're gonna tear it out so we have your exact weight measurements.
Okay.
So we're gonna put this on here,
Okay.
and
Zero it out.
zero it out,
Okay.
and then you're gonna take it over to the wax pot,
Oop.
and just be careful because it's hot. And turn your valve.
And go how many ounces?
7 ounces, but I'll tell you when, because they're not. All right, you gotta be right at 7 ounces. You're a little more
I
than
don't see
7.
7.
Stop,
Slow
stop.
down.
You're at like 12.
Oop.
Let's see.
There? I don't see 7.
No, these are not correct. So
Oh.
don't believe if you buy these from the dollar store, don't believe you. Don't believe when they tell you this is a cup, because a cup is not a cup on these. So this is like 14 ounces of wax,
So-
12 and some change.
I just gotta pour some back in the,
So
Oh.
Put it back.
pour them back.
I always heated mine up in a coffee can and a thing of water on the stove. That's too fancy.
9. I didn't do
What?
enough.
What? So you get to pick your flame.
Okay, 7.25 will be fine. You'll have a little bit left over. All
Okay.
right, we're gonna tear it out again.
Okay.
What do you mean by tear it out?
Turn it
Zero.
zeroed out.
Zeroed out.
And then you're gonna do 1.5 ounces of that.
So when this gets to 1.5?
Yes, ma'am. A little more. 1.3. You'll be okay. And if you go over, there's a little margin for error. That's good.
Ooh.
It's okay. There's room for error.
It just smells a little bit more.
I build in room for, for error.
Rare. Good.
All right. So then you're going to take this, stick it in, and turn it on,
Okay.
and there you go. And then see how all the little particles are in there.
Oh, yeah.
You want all the little particles to kind of mix up, and for it not to be so cloudy. The fragrance oil, as it binds to the wax, will create kind of this. It's called ricing, and it rices the fragrance oil into the wax, and it makes it where it doesn't always want to combine. So you have to do it artificially, because wax and fragrance oil is like oil and water.
So you don't make candles one at a time, though, right? You mix them up and
I pour in 4. I'll show you. And that
Yeah.
metal container is the biggest that I pour.
you'll do 4 at a time.
We get 4-pound batches,
4-pound
which is
batches.
about 8
8.
candles.
Yeah. Okay.
How's that?
Perfect. So turn it off.
Is this specifically for candles?
It's actually a coffee frother, like a
Oh.
coffee cream frother.
Huh.
And I have, all right, and you're gonna pour it in. Do it slowly so you don't get air bubbles.
I think I have air bubbles. in
It's
there.
okay. They'll dissipate. But air bubbles in the bottom of your candle, your candle won't burn properly, and it won't adhere to the jars properly.
2 wicks, or is that not?
Yes, ma'am. It's 2 wicks.
And those are
Cherry wood?
cherry wood wicks?
Yes, ma'am.
So why cherry wood? It's just burn slower?
When the Wooden Wick Company initially made their products, they made them out of oak, and then they switched to cherry. I don't know why. And when the patent was released from the Wooden Wick Company, everybody made them out of cherry.
So you don't do woven wicks anymore?
I do not. I don't like the way woven wicks mushroom. And they create a lot of smoke, and I just didn't like the way that did for my own
I'm gonna get
products.
those air bowls out.
Oh, you are perfect. Your candle looks
I would
great.
say it looks great.
Good.
All right.
And we have proof too because it's being filmed.
That's right.
Perfect.
Yay!
Awesome.
That it?
That's it. So it'll sit here and dry about 2.5 hours ish, and I will come back and I will trim all of your wicks and I will label everything, and then it will be yours to
Oh
take
my
home.
gosh, that's amazing. That's
Good job.
really cool. Thank you.
That's pretty simple.
very
So
simple.
as long as you don't have to do math, it's so easy.
Well, I remember when I was a kid in the 70s, we had the whole pot going on, the double boiler on the stove, and
So that's actually
that's how you the same way, right?
so.
I only made like
We made pillar candles.
pillar candles. I had a mold
I still
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
we
whole
have
bunch
those-
of
and strung
Christmas.
up.
Yeah.
I never bought,
Yeah.
bought
Yeah, sure.
a red Christmas pillar candle in years. That he made so many of.
That was how I first kind of got interested in it. My dad and I would make coffee cane candles growing up. My grandmother was a florist and she did weddings and all of that. And my dad would wind up with put them in a little glass jar and burn them.
Yeah.
So beeswax, that's amazing.
Honeycombs.
And it
You should take a picture of that too. honey.
Oh yeah. So that's
The sheaves.
processed,
it's
correct?
just processed wax that
Yeah.
they've laid out flat and
They put the shapes in when they roll it. Is
I
that really the honeycomb out of
no, because when you process wax is really, really dirty.
Yeah.
Beeswax is super dirty. When it comes out of the hive, it's almost black looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess whatever mold that they use has that kind
So there you have it. A quick, simple, easy way to make a candle. The beeswax sheets were kind of interesting. You know, she's doing a little test marketing for someone to see how they sell and if people actually like them or not. So it's Twisted Lane Candles in Arkansas. Just a quick heads up that it is, or friendly reminder, it is a harvest host, so you can't just show up here. You need to be part of the program. You still have to request a day to stay here. You can just go on their calendar and pick a day that works for you and see if it gets approved. Tabitha's the owner. She also has a website, and I will be showing you a picture of her business card with the website address. She has a nice variety of candles, and they smell fantastic. So if you like candles, you like the smelly jellies, which is basically a room air freshener type thing, she has all that stuff. So feel free to check out the website and buy something. All right, take care. Bye. Hey folks, Harvest Host number 2, Park Place Drive-In Theater, Marion, Virginia. This place is kind of an interesting harvest host. Looks like they have a little ice cream bar, some kind of a country store type thing. Not sure exactly what it is. Unfortunately, they're closed. Looks like a nice place, pretty clean. There's a ton of room in the back. And it's a drive-in theater I've never seen before. Usually the old school type. Drive up to a pedestal and put the little metal speaker in your window. I guess I haven't been to a drive-in in a long time because it's totally different now. I guess you tune into a radio station. Oh, they got a nice little miniature golf course set up here. Yeah, it looks nice. Very nice. It's too bad it's closed. I'd like to try a game or two. Let's see what we got over here. Oh yeah, cash only at the ticket booth. All right. Guess they don't want to pay the electronic fees. That's a nice looking miniature golf course. So there's the big screen, the back side of it. And on either side, they have, looks like 4, maybe a little bit more, shipping containers painted black. Must be some kind of new landscaping. I don't know, but it works. I got some nice trees in here. Looks like it's pretty well lit there at night. So the parking area for the campers is on the very top tier. When you watch your movie, it's all packed gravel, very level. Nobody's here, you know, to open a store for us, so there is a donation box up top, which you can, you know, leave your donation. So this thing is tiered. There's levels. Nice clean cut grass in between, which is awesome. So it looks like you find your level. You obviously park toward the screen, which would make sense, unless you're not here to watch a movie. And you tune into the radio station. So there we are up top, right over there. Slow down, camera. Yeah, that's us in the fifth wheel. That's what we have right now. Maybe we'll take the vintage out some other time. Later on in the year, we'll take it up to Vermont. Yeah, this place is pretty big. It's very well manicured. Super clean. I'm really surprised. There's your big screen. So, just so you know, those of you who aren't familiar with Harvest Hosts, you can't just show up. You have to actually join the club. It's looks like $90 a year membership. They're always running 15-20% discounts. First time members, if you're a returning member, you do not get a discount, which is unfortunate. So just keep in mind, if you want to join to see these places, it's worth the money, even though it's an overnight. Suggested donation or money spent at each host was $20. 2024 they raised it up to $30 for whatever reason, I don't know. Yeah, so it's a good membership club. There's a lot of cool stuff: wineries, farms, orchards, golf courses if you pay the extra upcharge for the membership. We did some alpaca farms, which is pretty cool. So the first Harvest Host we did was in Ashland, Pennsylvania. It was called Pioneer Tunnel Coal Mine and Steam Train, which is pretty cool. They had an old coal mine with a little train you can ride in. Only went in maybe 1,800 feet or something like that. It wasn't very far. But you get to see how they mined the coal back in the 1800s, the type of coal that they harvested. And that town is maybe 5 minutes south of Centralia. Centralia is a pretty cool place. A lot of history. Like I said, it's sad history, but it is history. Yeah, that coal mine fire in Centralia started in 1962, and it's still burning to this day. It's not an above ground fire, it's in the mines itself. And they claim that it'll burn for another 100, 150 years or so. So there's nothing left of that town. They had the government came in, they tried to put out the fires, drilling holes and filling it with fly ash and water and whatever else they could do, but they could never get ahead of the fire because of all the government paperwork. So eventually the government took over. They bought everybody out and bulldozed all the houses, and it was pretty dangerous to live there anyway. The CO2 or carbon monoxide levels were off the charts, so it was a pretty unhealthy place to live. So there's nothing left there but a lot of new growth trees where the houses and banks and gas stations used to be. There's a lot of roads, side streets. It looks like a big grid it goes nowhere. You just drive around up and down these side roads and streets, and there's nothing there. Some of the places you can see where the houses used to be because they're not growing in all the way. But yeah, it's too bad. It was an interesting place. And there's also a road there. I think it's called Graffiti Road. It used to be the main street for that town, and you can go in there and spray paint your name or whatever. But a few years ago, they pretty much buried all of it in dirt just to keep the tourists away. There are some spots where you can still go there with your spray paint, right, Centralia, and you can tag the road if you want, but there's really nothing there.
But you notice I don't have the little speakers anymore? You have
Yeah,
to
it's all
log in?
radio station now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I haven't been to a drive-in in a lot of years. Last time I went, it was the pedestal and the metal speaker.
It's just a weekend thing, so they probably don't
Yeah.
put all that into it.
Well, they got a party thing down there,
Yeah.
deck and stuff, so they probably host events off-season or whatever during the week. So that's it. This is Park Place Drive-In in Merriam, Virginia. It's a pretty quiet place. There was some deer running around, but we didn't get to see them. Did you get pictures? Let's take a walk up top. Maybe we can find them.
That's how I look driving down the road.
Yeah, it's a little nose high, isn't it?
I think they all look like that. I've looked
Yeah.
at them with wheels on the road and they're high in the front.
It is nose high a little bit. It's not really
Yeah.
ideal, but because it puts more wear and tear in the back axle. But it works.
I don't know how you lower that.
You can't.
Oh.
The trucks are made too high, and the design of the campers never kept up with the times. That's the problem with the new vehicles.
Yeah.
They sit too high.
I'm sure the deer are gone by now.
There's what?
The deer are gone.
I don't know. They're probably gone. Yeah, it's a nice place. I like the way they have the different tiers.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
yeah, that's nice.
I guess you're not gonna get stuck behind a big truck or something or a van. You can't see the movie.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was wondering if there was going to be a flat spot, but it's not. It's all tiered. It's all
It's kind of like getting stuck behind someone in the theater with a big hair, with a big hat.
It's nice because they got the grass in between. It looks good.
Yeah, and it's well maintained also.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it. It looks like you got the traditional snack bar and whatever else they have in there. I don't know if they do souvenirs or not. Seems like everybody sells souvenirs nowadays. Yeah, I like it. It's nice.
It's nice and quiet.
Probably a fun place in the summer when they do movies on weekends now. They're not showing movies during the week. Maybe it's the off season. I'm not sure.